Stop pulling out your wallet. Seriously, just put your credit card back in your pocket right this second. If you are thinking about buying an Apple TV or a budget streaming box right now, you are about to make the absolute worst tech decision of the entire year. I know that sounds incredibly dramatic, but something unprecedented is happening behind the closed doors of Cupertino. Right now, we are tracking a massive, high-stakes collision between two totally different Apple devices that are suddenly crashing into each other's territory. In one corner, we have the upcoming late 2026 M5 Mac Mini, which is shaping up to be an impossibly small desktop powerhouse. In the opposite corner, we have a completely overhauled, next-generation Apple TV 4K that changes everything we know about home entertainment. The line between a dedicated streaming box and a full-blown desktop computer has never been this intensely blurry. If you are trying to build the ultimate home theater setup, or if you just want a killer entertainment hub that doesn't completely drain your bank account with the usual Apple tax, you have a massive choice coming up. And trust me, it is definitely not as simple as it used to be. Let us look at the wild mystery surrounding the Apple TV hardware first. The legendary tech insider Mark Gurman has been dropping some pretty massive hints lately that should make every tech fan stop and think. He claims that Apple is literally sitting on a massive stockpile of brand new Apple TV hardware. It is not a myth. It is physically sitting in warehouses right now, gathering dust by the thousands. Why on earth would a trillion-dollar company build millions of devices just to let them sit in the dark? The answer is simple. Apple is playing a dangerous waiting game. They are waiting for the software to catch up to the sheer power of the hardware. They are waiting to pull the trigger this fall so they can launch it alongside Siri 2.0 and the massive, completely rewritten tvOS 27 update. They want the software experience to blow your mind on day one, rather than launching a half-baked product. But while Apple plays the waiting game, supply chain genius Ming-Chi recently chimed in with some internal factory notes that completely changed the math on what this tiny black box can actually do. We are talking about the infamous A17 Pro chip making its way into the Apple TV. Yes, you heard that correctly. This is the exact same piece of bleeding-edge silicon that powered the premium iPhone 15 Pro, now shrunk down and dropped into a device that sits directly under your living room television. Now, I am a skeptic by nature. I will believe it when I see the actual teardowns on a workbench, but if Core is right, this represents a massive, historic shift in Apple's living room strategy. Think about what an A17 Pro chip actually means for a home theater system. It brings hardware-accelerated ray tracing and incredibly efficient TSMC 3nm architecture to a device that historically just played Netflix videos. But why on earth does a simple streaming box need that much raw graphical power? The truth is, it does not need it just for watching movies or binging your favorite shows in 4K. It needs it for two specific things: hardcore gaming and, more importantly, local Apple intelligence. Reports from DG Times suggest that Apple is bumping the baseline RAM in the Apple TV from 4 GB all the way up to 8 GB. This is not just a random upgrade to look good on a spec sheet. 8 GB is the absolute minimum technical threshold required for on-device AI processing. Apple wants this machine to run complex Siri queries locally without needing to ping a distant cloud server. Imagine sitting on your couch and asking your TV a highly complex question like, "Find me that sci-fi movie from the 90s where the main character wears a trench coat, but only look at apps I actually subscribe to." Apple wants that query processed instantly, locally, giving you natural language search across every single streaming app at the exact same time. It sounds amazing, but you have to wonder if they can actually pull off decent local large language model processing on a tiny TV box. I have my doubts, but the hardware jump itself is completely undeniable and puts the competition on notice. Now let us look at the monster standing on the other side of the ring. We have the incredibly tiny Mac Mini. Ever since Apple miraculously shrank it down to that tiny 5x5-inch block with the M4 generation, it has been the absolute perfect home theater PC for tech nerds and power users. But Apple isn't stopping there. Right now, early supply chain reports indicate that the next generation M5 and M5 Pro chips are already entering early production testing. We are not expecting any major external redesigns this year, because let's face it, the 5x5-inch chassis is already near perfection. But under the hood, the M5 is going to be an absolute, unmitigated monster. Sources like Makotakura have corroborated early whispers that baseline memory will jump yet again. cementing 16 gigabytes of unified memory as the bare minimum standard going forward across the entire lineup. This massive upgrade makes the Mac Mini an insanely powerful media server. You can run a massive Plex ecosystem, handle multiple intensive 4K video transcodes on the fly for your friends and family, and still use it as your main daily driver for heavy-lifting professional work like 8K video editing or software development. But this is where the choice gets incredibly complicated for a normal buyer. Are you really going to use macOS on your living room TV? Let me know down in the comments right now what your current living room setup looks like, because I am genuinely curious. How many of you are actually trying to use a full desktop operating system with a tiny mouse and keyboard from the comfort of your couch? If we are being completely honest, it is usually a terrible experience. The Apple ecosystem is amazing when things have seamless, native integration, but navigating a full desktop user interface on a massive 75-inch OLED screen without a proper desk is a nightmare. It feels awkward, clunky, and completely ruins the relaxed vibe of a living room. That is the hidden genius of the Apple TV 4K. The interface is completely idiot-proof. You can hand that sleek remote to anyone in your family, your kids, your grandparents, your guests, and they instantly know how to navigate Netflix or find a show on Apple TV+. There are no software updates to manage, no mouse pointers to lose track of, and no weird audio driver glitches to troubleshoot before movie night. Furthermore, leaks from Shrimp Apple Pro suggest the new Apple TV will feature a custom, in-house N1 networking chip. This means wireless connectivity is about to get a massive, generation-defining upgrade. We are talking about Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6, and built-in Thread support for your entire smart home ecosystem. Wi-Fi 7 alone is a game-changer for home theaters. It is going to give you wildly stable, high-bitrate streaming with near-zero latency. It will hold a perfect connection even if your house is completely saturated with smartphones, tablets, and other overlapping wireless signals from your neighbors. The M5 Mac Mini will definitely have Wi-Fi 7 too, but it costs hundreds of dollars more and requires constant manual maintenance to keep running smoothly. Speaking of price, that is the massive elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about. The M5 Mac Mini is probably going to start somewhere around $699, assuming they keep the same pricing structure after killing off the smaller, slower storage models entirely. That is a really steep entry price if all you want to do is watch movies in Dolby Vision and listen to spatial audio. On the other hand, insider Ross Young has hinted that Apple might actually look at a significant price cut for the new Apple TV lineup. They could potentially bring the base model down to an unbelievable $99, with a higher-end version sitting just slightly above that. A sub-$100 Apple TV with a flagship A17 Pro chip inside is an aggressive impulse buy price. It completely destroys the competition from Roku, Amazon Fire Sticks, and Google TV, rendering them obsolete overnight. However, we have to look at the cold, hard reality of thermal throttling. The Mac Mini has an active cooling fan tucked away inside that tiny metal chassis. You can push that M5 chip to its absolute limits for hours on end by rendering massive video files or playing intense Mac games, and it will stay relatively cool and whisper quiet. The Apple TV, conversely, is completely fanless. Putting an A17 Pro in a small plastic box means it is going to get incredibly hot if you try to push it with heavy 3D gaming or intense local AI processing tasks. Apple is notorious for letting their fanless devices run a bit toasty, and it will be fascinating to see how they manage the heat on a piece of silicon that was already well known for getting incredibly warm inside the tight iPhone frame. If it throttles too quickly, all that theoretical graphical power goes completely out the window. So, which one do you actually buy when the dust settles and these devices finally hit the market? My best opinion is that it all comes down to your specific use case, but for 90% of people, the Apple TV 4K is the clear, undisputed winner. If you want a dedicated, ultra-powerful media server, something that sits in a closet, downloads, stores, and serves terabytes of raw 4K movies to every single device in your house simultaneously without a single stutter, then save your money and get the M5 Mac Mini. The raw computational power of the M5 combined with high-speed Thunderbolt connectivity means it can hook up massive external storage arrays and run 24/7 for years without breaking a sweat. It is a pro-grade tool for pro-grade media hoarders. But if you just want the absolute best, most frictionless, and most visually stunning viewing experience on your main television screen, the late 2026 Apple TV 4K is going to completely dominate the living room space. You get incredible console-grade processing power, 8 GB of fast RAM for instant, smart AI searches, and Wi-Fi 7 for flawless streaming, all without paying that massive Mac desktop premium. It is going to be an absolute steal of a product, and Apple will easily sell millions of them to households everywhere. The ultimate takeaway here is simple. Do not make a rash decision right this second. Do not let FOMO get the best of you. Wait for September, wait for tvOS 27 to actually drop, and let the real-world thermal and performance reviews come out before you spend your hard-earned cash. If you like this video and want to stay ahead of the curve on the biggest tech battles of the year, make sure to subscribe to the channel right now. Share the video with your friends who are looking to upgrade their setups, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you never miss another deep dive into the future of technology. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.